Okay. Good morning, class. My name is Candice Garcia, Outreach Specialist for the MIND program. I know I haven't met you guys before, but I will down the line. So we're going to talk about a project that you have coming up and how to go about that, due dates, and other information that's going to help you complete the project. So first of all, you can see on this document that we're sharing here, you will also have this. Your teacher will send it to you. So don't worry if you don't catch everything today. Like I said, you'll have this to go over. So the very first part of this document is the due date. There are three main parts of this project. However, you only have to worry about these two due dates here. Let's see, and that is the presentation, which will be due April 16th at 3 p.m. And the second date is April 30th at 3 p.m. And that's an infographic, and we'll cover that later on. So we're not there yet, but we will go over that for you. So just to get started, so you know a little bit about this project, the goal here is to reinforce information shared on topics received in class that are related to mental and behavioral health. So though when it says topics received in class, I want you to think about the guest speakers that you've had. So maybe it was healthy relationships, intro to psychosis. Those guest speakers that you had in your class is what we are referring to here. So just kind of take a moment, think about everything you learned during those presentations. It says students will begin to understand how this knowledge can be used to educate their peers as a form of advocacy. And we'll also be sending a little bit of information on advocacy just to kind of get you familiar if you're not already familiar with what advocacy is. So that's going to be a separate document that we will share with you. Let's see. So the project description, students will complete this project independently. So you guys will be doing this on your own. Hopefully that'll be a little easier. You don't have to coordinate with anyone else's schedule. There's like I said, three main sections of this project. The first one being research and a needs assessment. The second is your presentation, and the third section is an infographic. And if you keep scrolling here, you'll get a description of each part of this project so you know how to do that. Part 1, needs assessment and research. A needs assessment, if you don't already know, is used to determine the needs of a particular population. So in this case, we're thinking our population is going to be students. So your peers, that's the population at your school, and just kind of overall during this pandemic time. So the needs assessment can range from informal to more formal. The needs assessment is most critical step in the planning process. Below you will see the steps and descriptions involved in conducting a needs assessment. You will not need to do all these steps, but they're given to you for information on how the entire process is done. The students will be given links to survey results discussing COVID-19 and the impact on high school students. So down here, you'll see those steps that we were talking about. Okay, it looks like there are 6 steps. You don't have to memorize these steps, and you won't have to do all of these steps. Okay, so just keep that in mind going forward. We will let you know exactly what you need to do, but we did want to share these, like we said, so you just kind of have a better understanding of what you're working on. It gives you a bigger picture. Okay, so regarding the needs, the links down there, you'll see. We want you to focus on one of the links. Okay, so go through them, read them, see which one maybe that you connect with most. The one that you like best, choose one to focus on. You're going to use these results and the information that these links share to find a need or an issue that you're going to focus on for this project. Okay. There are 3 questions highlighted in green in the steps below. You have to answer these 3 questions. So when we come across those questions, I'll point them out to you, and then you'll also see they're going to be in green. Okay. So I'm just going to read through the steps. These are the steps of a needs assessment, okay? Step 1, determine the purpose and scope. of the needs assessment. In this needs assessment, we are wanting to find out how student mental health has been impacted during the COVID-19 pandemic. Okay, so we're just setting it up for you so you can understand. Step 2, gather data. No, this data has already been gathered for you, which is the survey links. Okay, so that's your data and we've already gathered that for you. Use the links below to see the data collected. This type of data is called secondary data and will be used for this project. So step 3, this is when you kind of start doing things on your own. So step 3 is analyze the data. Your goal is to identify and prioritize the issue or the need by looking at the information those links share. You pull out themes and you find meaning in the results. In analyzing the data, look for answers to questions such as, what do I notice about the results? What might my observations of the data mean? Do these results reveal any conditions or perceptions that can be linked to mental or behavioral health promotion or advocacy? If so, how are they linked? What is the mental and behavioral health problem or condition that is associated with the problem? Which problem from the survey results is the most important to change? So, like I said, all those questions are just to kind of get your mind going, to have you think about what you're reading as far as the results. You don't have to write them out and answer them, but it's good to think and try to answer them for yourself so you can better understand the data that you're looking at. So, but here we have a green highlighted question. So one of these questions you do have to write down an answer, and it is, which problem from the survey results is the most important? So as you look at these survey results, you're going to see a lot of things. You're going to understand that maybe kids did not have enough learning time, or some felt really anxious. So those are some themes and things you're going to notice when you look at these survey results. So now that you can see several different things from the data, we are asking which one is most important to you, which one should be addressed. So that's this green question, okay? Moving on to step 4, identify the risk factors linked to the mental behavioral health problem. So risk factors, these are things contributing to the issue or to the problem. So it could be genetic, behavioral, and environmental risks. Again, you don't necessarily have to answer anything for that. We're just sharing this step with you. So that's another part of needs assessment. Step 5, don't mind the indent. It says identify resources. Are there current programs already available to refer this population to? Are people using these programs? If not, why? Are these programs effective? Are they accessible to the population? Are the needs of the population being met? If not, why? Where can you refer people to receive help in your area? Are these places and programs accessible to most of the population? So again, here your population is going to be students, high school students. Let's see. Where can you refer people? Again, just thinking about your area. Do you know of places? Does the school have resources? So these are all questions that you want to consider and think about when thinking about your population and the problem that the population is facing. Okay, so again, there are your other two questions that are highlighted in green. So we got 1, which problem from the survey results the most? 2, where can you refer people to receive help in your area? And 3, are these places and programs accessible to most of the populations? Okay, so those 3 you will have to answer and include in your project. Lastly, step 6, validating the prioritized needs. So confirm the need being identified as the need that should be addressed. This involves rechecking steps, data, and possibly conducting a focus group to determine their reaction to the identified need. Okay, so again, you're not going to do step 6. It's just part of the process that we wanted to share that information. So here are the survey links. There are 3 links here. So take your time, read each report and survey information to see what you notice about it again. So those are there for you. Again, just focus on one, the one that you're connecting with the most. Let's see, part 2, okay? So this is the second part of the project. We're talking about your presentation now. Students will use PowerPoint or Google Slides to present your findings and topic information. Your presentation should consist of a minimum of 5 slides. Students will utilize the information they have received in class from guest speakers about their topic as a starting point. So again, your speakers, the information they provided for you, if they relate to your topic, that's your starting point, okay? Students are required to conduct additional research to strengthen their points. You may choose to present on an issue you found while analyzing the data, or you may choose a topic from the list, and we'll look at the list in just a second. Students will utilize survey results provided in the links above. We have already seen those links to discuss the points of concern they feel relate to their own school and peers. So below you will also find some points to guide the information you might want to include in your presentation. No, you don't have to do the exact points that we'll go through later. You don't have to do all of them. There's only 2 that you will see are actually required, okay? So we'll go over that more. Let's see, you need to add 2 reliable sources. Like I said, there's a 5-slide minimum. This does not include the title page or your research page, or your resource page. Okay, so it has to be, the meat of the project. There has to be 5 slides. So, like we said, you can either choose a topic that comes out from reading the surveys and those report information, or you can choose one of these topics that we have provided here. And those options are mental health stigma, healthy coping skills and mindfulness, healthy relationships, self-advocacy, and self-efficacy. Okay, let's see. And then here we provided examples of the slides that you might want to include in your presentation. Again, you don't have to do it exactly this way. If it makes sense for you to do it a different way, go ahead and do that. We just wanted to give you some ideas and some guiding points if you get stuck. So here are examples. Slide 1 could be your title page, student, your name, your teacher, your class period. Slide 2, you might want to introduce your topic. What is your topic? What did you choose to do? Slide 3, how does this relate to issues or concerns revealed from the survey? So how does the topic you chose relate to the surveys that you read through? Okay. Another idea is, this one, slide 4, here it is required. So these are the 3 questions earlier that were highlighted in green. You do have to include that somewhere in your presentation. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be slide 4, but it does have to be in your presentation. Another idea, you can share how this knowledge helped you with your peers, your teachers, your staff. How can this be helpful for you in your future? Okay, and so on. The last slide here is also required, so I want to point that out to you. Provide 1 to 2 resources, okay, and those resources have to be credible. That means from reliable sources. If you're online, which is typical, the .gov, .org, .edu, those are some reliable sources, so those are good places to start. So we're going to move into part 3. My colleague Destiny is going to introduce herself, and she's going to go over part 3. So go ahead, Destiny.
Hello, everyone. My name is Destiny Castellon. I'm also an outreach specialist with the MIND program, and I am going to go over part 3. So part 3 is essentially the last step that's going to be needed. However, we felt that we needed to build this project stepping stones. So everything that you essentially did for part 1 and part 2, but mostly part 2, you are going to take that information and present it into an infographic. So right here it says part 3, From the topic chosen from your presentation, you will now make an infographic that shares the issues and helpful information to others. Infographics are visual projects used to raise community awareness of mental health, behavioral health, or safety issues. Based on what you've learned about an infographic, you are to design an infographic to relay important information and facts to the mental behavioral health issue. So we're going to introduce the guide as well as we'll share an example of what an infographic looks like below, okay? So the objective is to promote community awareness by using the data from the links provided. Again, you should have already done most of this steps in part 1 and 2. You're just going to be presenting it in an infographic format. As well as the other objective is to help assist communities to become aware of the mental health, behavioral health issue, facts, data, dangers, and prevention. If you can go down, please. So the projects should focus on the mental behavioral health issues. Again, so that same topic that you chose to do your presentation on is going to be the same topic that you're going to do the infographic on. So you're not going to be allowed to change topics, again, because we feel that the presentation is going to help you complete this section of the project. Can go down. So you're going to identify the vulnerable population, causes of the mental health, behavioral health issue, prevention of the mental behavioral health issue, and any other related information to, that should say mental health, behavioral health issue. That will be corrected in the syllabus that you receive. So again, this part of the project will be done individually. Just so you're aware. And students should research the project and provide a brief summary, no more than 3 sentences of the issue in their introduction. The project will be media-based, so students can choose their method of creating their media, such as using Canva, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Paint, etc. All projects must be downloaded in a PDF format and be no more than 15 MBs for file viewing. And you can go down. So these are the 2 examples. They are related to heart health. And so the difference between a flyer and a presentation is this is kind of a snapshot of the information that you would give to the public. So if you can stop right there, Candice, go just a little bit up. So, that kind of brief description and summary where it says, what is infographic? That kind of gives a brief statement, right? As well as on the one on the left, take charge of your heart's health with 3 simple steps. Again, so this is kind of just your presentation, not in a flyer, but more giving information on the topic. So you want to make sure that you hit those bullet points that are required. But again, don't become overwhelmed. Just know that the information that you presented in your PowerPoint is going to be transferred over to this side, but it's just presented in a different way. You can go all the way down if you want, and it's just kind of a longer format what an infographic is. So you can Google infographic templates, and that's also another resource that you can look into and just kind of feed in that information. And as well as, I believe, Candice, these projects would be entered into a contest, correct?
So it is not mandatory, but
Hi, just a quick thing about the jump competition. It is not mandatory, as they were saying, but it is open. If you have these done early between April 8th and the 13th, you will be able to go ahead and submit them for additional prizes. We'll give you the information to that in a document. Thank you.
all right. So now that we've gone over the guidelines for this project, we also want you to know that there is some prizes. So for the first, second, and third top infographic and presentation, there's going to be a cash prize. I'm sure it's going to come in the form of a gift card. However, so for the first place winner, it's going to be $50. The person who's in second place, it'll be $25, and the third place will get $10. And this is based on your presentation and your infographic combined. So that's how we're going to do that. After April 30th, which is the second due date, so after both parts are turned in, about a week after is when we'll announce the winner. We don't have the exact date, but we will keep you guys updated. So that's when we'll announce who had the first, second, and third best presentation and infographic. Let's see, what else am I forgetting, Destiny?
I think that was it for that piece that we wanted to cover. And just any last minute overall thoughts about the project. We overall did our best. We know that you guys are all transitioning. Some of you are staying in distance learning. Some of you are going back to school. So we were trying to make this project as least stressful as possible, but also making sure that you are understanding, what advocacy is and the type of steps that you can do to advocate, and what a needs assessment is, and kind of walk you through these steps, so you can gain this experience and knowledge. So anything else, Candice?
Yeah, so I just wanted to add, if this sounds overwhelming, don't worry. Destiny and I are coordinating with their teachers so that we could be available if you have any questions and need further support. So don't stress too much if you are stressing. This is going to be fun and you're going to learn lots. And then we're also aside from us supporting you, we're also going to send over a couple documents that you can read through and use to kind of understand if you're having trouble a little bit more. So you will have those supplemental documents, and us to be there. We'll provide our email as well, so we can help you through this as you go. So we will get you through it if you're worried. But otherwise, I'm excited to see what you guys have in mind and what you learn from these surveys and what you will create in the infographic. So I'm excited. But I think that is all for today.
Yes, please feel free to reach out to your teacher again, via email as well, if your teacher allows it, to email us directly in regards to any questions. We're here to support you through this process, and like Candice said, we are excited to see what you all come up with. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Bye.